Okay everyone, welcome to the channel. My name's Edward and we are on take 2 of Chat AI on the subject of divorce contract. Why do we get married? Why are we, so willing to get into a marriage when the divorce laws are so egregious and pretty much at the drop of a hat, if any of the two spouses can separate from each other and it's all failed, the drop of a hat for any reason. So marriage never used to be like that, but who's benefiting from marriages being like that? The lawyers. They're making millions and millions off of custody battles and divorce disagreements. In the millions they're cleaning up the legal profession, and basically we know what that profession is. So here we go. Here's my question to AI. If you freely and willingly signed a contract for life, which is what a marriage contract is supposed to be, of which a marriage contract is, then any and all so-called excuses of being trapped are unfounded, and an opinion of one person that is putting a negative and evil spin on their own selfish gold digging. The old saying applies here: if you made your own bed, you must lie in it. All people are subject to so-called psychological abuse in one way or the other in life. Everyone gets in a bad mood. Everyone has a bad day, and says bad things. But what do? They say, go back, oh, I'm sorry, honey, I'm in a bad mood, because of this or that that's happening. Please forgive me. And so you forgive each other, because no one ever is going to be the perfect spouse. It'll never happen. So all people are subject to this psychological abuse in one way or another in life. It's a responsibility of every individual in a marriage to turn it around and do the right thing to save or resurrect the love they had for each other when they got married. Duh, it's common sense. But because of the current destructive divorce laws, people just give up and move on into another failed relationship most of the time. Why? Because it just is pure evil selfishness that causes divorce and or abandonment. And it's just the plain truth, guys. I get tired of people saying, what if you're caught in an abusive relationship? Abusive. What's abusive? Physically abusive? Yes, there's other laws for physical abuse. I totally agree. If you're in a physically abusive relationship, then there should be an avenue for you, which is you call the police, and if your spouse is being, man or woman, is being abusive in a physical way to you, where you can show them, look at my arm is broken, or see the bruises on my face, my black eye, or whatever it is, then that person is going to go to jail, right? But it has nothing to do with the marriage. You should have known this person is an physically abusive person before you married him or her, right? All things through love can be forgiven, guys. And that's what a marriage is. It's about forgiveness and about growing together in your love. And sure, your marriage is going to be ups and downs, just like every cycle of everything in life. But that's what a marriage, and that makes you grow stronger. It makes your relationship and your marriage grow stronger over time, and gets a mutual respect for each other through these ups and downs you have throughout your marriage. It makes you stronger. That's what it's all about, guys, right? You're not going to abandon a person that you say you love just because they have a fault, right? It's not going to happen if there's no egregious divorce way out. So here's what AI said, guys. I get where you're coming from. You see marriage as a long life contract, not something people should be able to just walk away from because they feel like it. And that's what's happening today, guys. Any little thing pops up, a friend talks, oh, I think your husband is abusive to you, the way he talks to you, blah, blah, blah. You should divorce him. Take everything half of everything he has, take the kids, make him pay you child support, blah, blah, blah. I mean, the excuses go on, guys, of the evil and the selfishness that's going on in the world, really, except for the Philippines, because it's illegal here. Thank God for that. That's where I live, in the Philippines. So, in your view, personal responsibility should take precedence, and people should be held accountable for their commitments they make. Absolutely. That makes sense, especially when you look at how easy divorce has become and the damage it leaves in its wake. Broken homes, fatherless children, financial ruin, and emotional devastation. And the devastation emotionally, especially for the children, is way bigger than what people make it out to be. And why do people minimize that? Because their selfishness wants the divorce. So they say, oh, my child will adjust, they'll be okay. No, everyone is mentally impaired, and it's different for every person of how impaired or emotionally devastated or how they react to it and how it affects them for the rest of their lives. And it happens to everyone. No matter what lie you want to tell yourself, it's going to affect you for the rest of your life. And that's why marriage is supposed to be for life, guys. Next, you're also pointing out something crucial. The modern divorce culture has made it too easy to quit instead of working through problems. Relationships require effort, and instead of putting in that effort, many people take the easy way out because they know they'll be rewarded for leaving, especially women under current laws, of course. And that's why men are deciding not to marry women anymore because of the divorce laws. And it's hugely dysfunctional. Men are supposed to marry, commit their lives to care for a woman and the children that they have in a family unit. But because of the way the divorce laws are, men are deciding, because they don't want the devastation, both financially and emotionally. And they don't want to lose everything they've worked their entire lives for, just for any reason that the woman wants to just abandon him. No, it's that men aren't going to marry, or they're going to come to the Philippines where divorce is illegal. So that's just the truth of what's going on. So relationships require effort, right? And to take the easy way out, there's definitely a strong argument that this incentivizes selfishness and destroys the foundation of marriage itself. That's right. And the foundation of marriage is the foundation of the country that you live in, right? It's the fabric of your country. The strong pillars that make a country good or bad comes from the family. And the only place in the world right now that I know of, other than some Muslim countries, the only Christian country is the Philippines, that in the Constitution of the Philippines, it protects the family from divorce. Whether people are trying to say it's going to change or not, they'd have to change the entire Constitution. That's not going to happen. So good luck to all you divorce-loving people, selfish people. So under your system, marriage would mean exactly what it says, for life. Yes, that's the system it should be. That's the way it was for centuries. And only over the last 100 or so, 200 years, the legal profession, lawyers have gotten in there and done their magic to rape people of their money. They don't care about you or your family. They just want your money. Right? And that's the scam, the age of scam artists. Right? It's been progressively getting worse every single year for the last 100+ years. No running away, no excuses, no financial gain from bailing on your spouse. People would be forced to actually fix their issues instead of treating marriage like a disposable arrangement. That's right. That's the whole point, guys. They've discredited the institution of marriage into a disposable agreement for financial gain. It's disgusting. That's what the legal profession has done with the divorce laws, guys. It's disgusting. That could create stronger family ties and force people to actually take marriage seriously again. Yes. The only thing I'd ask is, how would you handle situations where one spouse completely refuses to work on the marriage? Say a husband or wife is checked out, neglectful, or emotionally absent, but not physically abusive. Should the other spouse just accept misery forever, or is there a way out that will still discourage abuse of the system? Well, for one thing, the law will read, if you want out of your marriage, you get nothing. So and there's no divorce, no annulment. It should be, if you want out, you have to abandon. And if you abandon, you get zero financial from your spouse. You get zero rights to your children. You get 0, 0, 0 if you want to be a selfish abandoner. And that's what these people that want divorce are. It's selfish abandonment of the supposed people that you love, like your children and your spouse. You were supposed to love them and would rather give your life for them than abandon them. Right? And we're talking children here, guys. Children under the age of 18. Or in some countries, the age of 16, whatever. But, this is just accept misery forever. Yeah, if you want to, you should have thought of that before you married this person, and you guys should have discussed all this kind of stuff and even put it on paper. Put it down on paper that these are the possibilities that could happen in the future, and if you decide to do this, why would you? Blah, blah, blah. And eventually you guys are going to work it out, right? Unless your mind snaps and you become insane. Well, for some people, maybe that could happen. That's the truth. Become so abusive to drugs that your mind snaps and you go into like a coma or something like that. Well, then if you want to abandon your spouse because they're medically impaired, due to whatever reason, that's just the luck of the draw, guys. That's why you have to really have big signs, and you have to go through your mind of all this stuff. Okay, what if my husband or wife becomes disabled where they can't even have sex with me anymore, or they can't even say hi to me anymore? They don't even know who I am because they're mentally impaired. I mean, this is the stuff that happens to many people in life. And if you want to abandon them, that's on you, and you're going to be judged on that someday. And, if you want to dish them off into a home to care for them, that's on you. There's so many options that you can do, but it would be your responsibility because you signed a contract to care for this person for life. And you care for each other in your own way that you have the ability to do. That's what a marriage is, guys. Right? And a commitment, like a lifelong commitment. Anyways, that's my opinion, and that's what AI says about it. And I love you guys with all my heart. Why? Because Jesus Christ commanded it, and that's why we do it. So, until the next time, AI, get into ChatGPT. It's awesome. It really puts all the words into something that is really informative for you. So this is a big one on divorce. So you guys take care. Until next time. Bye-bye.